The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.
Hello and welcome to the first edition of the Dogs in 2005. I'm here at Wimbledon for the Racing Post Juvenile Championship, which brings together the puppy talent of 2004. It's sure to provide great pointers for the classic year ahead.
Also this week, we're at Perry Barr for the first round heats of the Tony Campbell Birmingham Cup over 480 metres. We will chart the highs and lows in the short life so far of our puppy, Frankie. Plus, we'll catch up with Ray Peacock's novice hurdlers as they prepare for this year's Springbok.
Racing Post Juvenile Championship night at Wimbledon, the first major meeting of the year. But before the main event, plenty of decent action on the undercard from the best view in the house.
They race down towards the second last bend and Gotta Be Magic the leader, but Kilog Glen is forcing the issue at the third bend, had the door slammed in its face by Gotta Be Magic, so the favourite's back in front, racing up towards winner line. It's Gotta Be Magic, here comes Kilog Glen, close to go round the second last bend, and it's 3 Oklahoma Joe by 2 lengths over Selby Ben off in chase, so they come up towards the last flight. It's Tommy Foster's Oklahoma Joe by 2 lengths from Selby Ben. It's a 1-2 for Tommy. Tic-tac system just out in front. Bubbly Pebbles is coming again. They race down towards the second last bend, and now Bubbly Pebbles goes on. Bubbly Pebbles leads around the final bend. Tic-tac system's coming back. What a scrap between these two. It's Bubbly Pebbles and Tic-tac system. Bubbly Pebbles prevails, and that monster gamble landed on trap 6. Bubbly Pebbles.
Some real bookie bashing then in the supporting races before a chance to toast one of the stars of last year, Fire Height Dan, as he set out on his 2005 campaign from trap 2. He was odds on, of course.
Here comes the hare then. Fire Height Dan in trap 2, and away they go, racing up towards the first bend, and Fire Height Dan away okay. Noir Shawnee rushing up on the outside, so go round the bend, and it's Fire Height Dan around. On the inside goes round from Noir Shawnee. After these comes 6 Phone for Who, and then after these we've got 4 Mustang Hero. So go down towards the third bend, it's Fire Height Dan leading the way. Noir Shawnee rushing up to the third bend, only about a length and a half behind, running a big race, Noir Shawnee. Then comes Mustang Hero, but as they come round the final bend, it's Fire Height Dan by a comfortable 2.5 lengths from Noir Shawnee in second place, and Mustang Hero back in third.
So 1-3 chance, Fire Height Dan continues to impress, delighting his trainer, Mick Pusey.
He's fantastic, isn't he? Yeah. And he's going through the winter the right way. Nice and steady progress. His next run probably be at Walthamstow for the Arc. When the improvements are done at Walthamstow, that's in a couple of weeks' time, the odd trial, and then back to Walthamstow for the Arc.
Obviously, long-term will be another tilt at the Derby.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He's maturing all the time. It'll be 3 by the time the Derby comes round, and that'd be perfect for us.
Quite a bit younger, but still very fast, Tom's View was to go off favourite for the best race of the night, as the puppy class of 2004 did battle in the Racing Post Juvenile Championship, worth £3,000 to the winner.
We're expecting a slick break from Tom's View and Vamoose on this near side. Off they go. Vamoose is away well ahead of 5 Droopy's Brooklyn. That's showing good pace up. And then comes 1 Ollie Bean as they go round the bend. It's Droopy's Brooklyn round in front from Vamoose, crowded out. Trying to improve his 4 Tom's View. They race down towards the third bend. Droopy's Brooklyn, Tom's View showing great middle. It's going to have to fight to lead though as they're coming into that third bend. And it's Tom's View out in front from racing in second. Droopy's Brooklyn after he's back in third comes Vamoose. And it's Tom's View by a length here racing up towards winning line 4. Tom's View lands the Racing Post Juvenile Championship from Droopy's Brooklyn in second. Vamoose was third, and these 3 were well away from the others.
Some hairy moments early for Phil McComish's dog, but he came through very well in the end to win from Droopy's Brooklyn and Vermoose and add to his Northern Puppy Derby triumph at Sunderland. The winning time was 28.01, but the performance, more than the time, suggests the eyes of Tom's View and connections must now be firmly fixed on the Derby back at Wimbledon in the summer, with Monmore's Midland Puppy Derby his next port of call.
On the first edition of the Dogs, we visited Dilys Steele's kennels near Peterborough. Dilys is one of the most successful British breeders, and the Dogs is following one of her young puppies throughout his development. At 12 weeks, our puppy Frankie was tattooed with a unique ear marking which will identify him throughout his career. All racing greyhounds have to experience this uncomfortable procedure at present, although the Society of Greyhound Veterinarians are investigating alternative methods which include microchipping. Here's Frankie at 16 weeks, enjoying the rough and tumble games with his brothers and sisters in one of the large fields at Dilys Steele's kennels. This helps build a competitive spirit and is also vital exercise for a growing pup. Just 4 weeks later, and we can see that Frankie is beginning to build into a mature racing greyhound. It's still 10 months before Frankie will set paw onto the track, and we'll be catching up with Frankie's antics during the year. News broke this week that Linda Jones will be taking a back seat over the next 6 months due to ill health. Mark Wallace will now be in charge at Imperial Kennels. For you armchair punters, great news as Channel 425 announced regular 2 tracks a night coverage, including top venues Walthamstow and Wimbledon. And talking of Wimbledon, you'll be able to watch the novice hurdlers emerge as they jockey for position in the bookmakers' anti-post list for the Springbok, including those we featured from Ray Peacock's kennels. His kennel star at the moment is Greenacre Tom. Here he is, winning very impressively on his hurdle debut. It's Greenacre Tom was running from trap 1, but the race was marred by an indiscretion here from Droopy's Luigi in trap 5, impeding badly trap 6 there, Robbie in trouble. Meantime, Greenacre Tom had sidestepped all the trouble, showed good pace down the far side, experience at the flights as well. You can see that Ray Peacock spends a long time with his greyhounds schooling them. Trap 3 moving up, well that's another one of Ray's. Musgrave Aussie showed plenty of middle pace, and look who's in behind them, Robbie in trouble in trap 6, who was badly impeded at the first bend, doing a lot of good work inside the closing stages. Ray also has high hopes of Arbor Jack, who was an impressive winner on his debut on New Year's Day. But the race we're watching now is the next effort from Arbor Jack, running from trap 5. A greyhound that likes to show a lot of early pace, but it could never really lead by the first bend and took a slight bump there from trap 6. Ballymac Mitch was the favourite in 2, but watch out for trap 1, Farlow Style, trained by Seamus Kyle. Good middle pace. We know, of course, that he was an open race, a seasoned campaigner, really useful on the flat, and he seems to be transmitting that pace, that flat speed over hurdles here. He goes on to beat Ballymac Mitch, who's a good yardstick for Nora McEllistrom, with Arbor Jack back in 3rd. These 3 well clear. The conditions for this year's Springbok are that the fastest 36 greyhounds will qualify for the first round. Qualification ends on the 26th of January, and it looks as though it'll be another thrilling year for the hurdlers. Coming up after the break, all the action from the first round of the Birmingham Cup from the revamped Perry Barr Stadium.
We're in the country's second city, Birmingham, Perry Barr to be precise, for the heats of the Tony Campbell Birmingham Cup. It's been all changed for Perry Barr since the GRA took over. The old grandstand has been completely gutted and refurbished as part of a huge investment. It's been months of hard work, but the new Perry Barr is taking shape with a modern double-fronted grandstand, and punters and customers alike there for last week's Birmingham Cup heats like what they saw. But there is plenty of work still to be done before the big Birmingham Cup final meeting on January the 18th, live on Sky Sports.
On Sunday, the petitioning wall between the 2 halves of the restaurant will come down. The balustrading will, for each of the tiers, and the stairways will be going up on Monday. They start that on Monday. Tuesday, the carpet's being delivered, and that they've then got 3 days to get that fitted. The windows, there's 3 panes of glass that we're waiting for. That'll be fitted on Wednesday and Thursday as well. So I'm hoping Friday night I can get some of my staff laying the tables and getting it ready so it's all ready for Tuesday night.
But before then, of course, there were 6 heats of the Birmingham Cup for punters and bookmakers alike to enjoy and to do battle. Heat 1 saw the Henlow Derby winner Farlow Pocket looking to continue his fine recent run. Midland Gold Cup winner Elderbury Viron headed the opposition.
And they're off and racing out towards the first bend. A good start here from Westview Lad in 2. Also pace coming from Witch's Flight. After these, Elderbury Veron just kept on going at that bend as they head down the far side, and Farlow Pocket got involved as well. 2 Westview Lad here with a 2-length lead over Witch's Flight in second. A further 3 lengths back to Elderbury Veron. Then comes Farlow Pocket to come around the second last bend. The track record holder here at Perry Barr, Westview Lad, still with the lead. A Witch's Flight checking out wide. Here comes Elderbury Veron, but all of a sudden Westview Lad's opened up to go clear. Westview Lad the winner, pinching second to Elderbury Veron.
Absolutely tremendous. Track record holder, and I don't know what time he did, but he's done 28.31. I mean, he gets better as he gets older.
And 8-1, what a price.
Better anti-post 66s. So we're hoping for the best in the next round. Nice draw and hope for the best.
So a 2-1 finish, victory for Westview Lad at odds of 8-1 in a time of 28.90. In Heat 2, all eyes were on Farlow Stormy with his impressive record at the track. Valencia Legend and Queen's Circle were also supported, but were punters in for another surprise?
And they're off racing up towards the first bend here. Dance Jamie away well in 3, ahead of CANIMAR in 2, but that's showing good pace up and knuckles down to lead around the first bend. In fact, gave 3 Dance Jamie a bit of a bump. Trouble there as 1 Farlow Stormy moved off, and towards the rear at the moment is Sound Sense along with Queen's Circle. They reach the third bend and CANIMAR with the edge here. A little bit more trouble there for 1 Farlow Storm at the third bend. 4 still handy Valencia Legend. They come off the final turn. It's CANIMAR by 2 lengths. All of a sudden Sound Sense has got going, closing rapidly, and back in third was Valencia Legend.
Yeah, they've won ever so well because both of them have never been around this track before. I thought 2's run especially well there. Even 4-Dog, I mean, he's got a lot of trouble there. I think they'll come on a bundle for there. Just glad they got through, really.
So Charlie Lister on the mark with CANIMAR from track 2 at odds of 5-1 in 29.02. Heat 3 now, and a red-hot favourite in the shape of the Paul Salish trained Driving Up Rob, a finalist in November's Eclipse at Nottingham.
And they're off and running. Oh, something happened to 5 there. Lonely Hunter seemed to stumble out of the boxes, hit Rhine Crew Mary at the first bend. It's going to be trap 2, Driving Up Rob out in front there. More bother behind for Rhine Crew Mary, forced to check a couple of times. 1 Smooth Honcho in second, then 4 Kilvey. Racing through these blustery conditions at Perry Barr, and Driving Up Rob with the advantage here of 2 lengths over Smooth Honcho in second as they come off the final turn. Running middle to wide is Driving Up Rob. It's going to win easily here. Smooth Honcho by half a length for second, ahead of Kilvey back in third.
You know, he should improve. You know, hopefully he'll get a decent draw. It's all down to luck. There's 25 railers in this competition, so you know, we just fingers crossed we don't get 5 or 6. You know, because obviously it'd be difficult for him. But if we keep getting 1 or 2, he should make the final. And you know, fingers crossed.
Driving Up Rob then through in a time of 28.78 with Smooth Honcho leading the chasing pack. More from the Birmingham Cup heats a little later, but what with a new track having been laid, new hair rail installed, new lighting and new traps in place, it's been a busy time for the man overseeing it all, Stephen Ray.
We've had Perry Barr for 18 months now, and it's been hard work. A lot of work by the staff here at Perry Barr to adapt to the changes of working for the GRA, and we've spent a little bit more than we intended to spend. Set off originally with a £2 million budget. I would think we're close on £3 million by the time we finish, but it's been worth it when you see the finished product.
Nowadays, behind every top track is usually a huge catering operation, and when complete on Birmingham Cup final night, Perry Barr will offer 500 restaurant covers, the biggest single restaurant at any British Greyhound track. It's a la carte, of course, but the improvements are not just at the top end. Downstairs, the bars and snack bars have also been designed to high specifications and help make the night out for all. But with Hall Green just down the road, Why did the GRA go for Perry Barr in the first place?
We thought if we could spend the money, produce another stadium of the quality of Hall Green, then we'd have 2 first-class stadiums in the city. That it's big enough for 2 stadiums in the city, and really we didn't want anybody else to get their hands on it. That's the truth of the matter. We felt that if anybody was going to run Perry Barr, we were the people that were going to be running it.
There's been rumours that the GRA want to get rid of Hall Green. How do you answer that?
Clive, I knew you were going to ask me this one. Well, these rumours started, I suppose, about 18 months ago when we purchased Perry Barr. The minute we bought Perry Barr, everybody who thinks they know the truth and all the old nod, wink, I know what's going on the old chat rooms, on the Betfair chat rooms, all these people who think they know what they're doing, absolute rubbish. I mean, as I've just explained to you, we think we've got 2 major stadiums in the second city. And you know, Hall Green, we're talking about a major refurbishment programme for Hall Green during 2005 to bring it back up to the sort of standard that Perry Barr now is. And you know, I'm looking forward to running Hall Green and Perry Barr until I retire in 10 years' time.
Back to the Tony Campbell Birmingham Cup heats now, and a wide open heat 4 with BURNPARK Honcho and Farlow Zach joint favourites at 5-2.
They're off for heat 4 of the Birmingham Cup, and a good start here from BURNPARK Honcho. Pace coming from Ryan Krushergar. Start and squeezed out there was Boer Ashmole in 4, heading down the far side, and BURNPARK Honcho, he's got a 2-length lead now over Ryan Krushergar back in second, further 2 lengths back to Boer Ashmole, trying to make a bit of headway, his paint spot on the inside there, but as they come around the final 2 turns, it's BURNPARK Honcho for Linda Jones, out in front here by 4 lengths, it's BURNPARK Honcho skating up, back in second place with 6, Ryan Krushergar, and Boer Ashmole for 3rd.
Yeah, it was a very, very good run from him. He's never been round this track before. He broke level, showed very good early, led at the first bend, then he has very, very good middle pace, to be honest. That's his best pace, his middle pace, and he stayed on very well. It's a very good run from him.
He seemed to make for the rails straight from the traps. Is he a dead railer?
Yeah, he's a bang railer. He wants the rails badly, to be honest. But he breaks better, in my opinion, from the middle.
A win for Linda Jones and BURNPARK Honcho in 28.60, a time which would prove the fastest of the round, but only just. Mustang Hero was all the rage in Heat 5 after a good run at Wimbledon on Juvenile Championship night behind Fire High Dan. Coolagorna Figo, second favourite here, led the list of challengers to the Brian Clemenson trained red-jacketed runner.
Off we go, and racing out towards the first bend. Away well was 3, Tornaroy Title. Coolagorna Figo didn't get a clear run up towards the first bend. Mustang Hero off in chase and had to check there a little bit at the first bend. Heading down the far side, and Tornaroy Title out in front here by 2 lengths over 1, Mustang Hero. Couple back to 4, Coolagorna Figo. And after these back in 4th place comes By the Rumour. So come around the second last turn, it's still 3, Tornaroy Title. 1, Mustang Hero, not quite sure where to challenge. Here he comes up the stand side, but it's Tornaroy Title winning by half a length from Mustang Hero, and Coolagorna Figo in 3rd.
Peter Meldrum fancied him in price-wise, a bit of outsider. Were you on?
What you could get. You struggle to get your money on these days, I think. But there you go.
Where would you ideally be drawn next round?
Again, I don't think it matters to him. I don't think what trap he gets, as long as nothing runs into him, really. Gets a clear run at the first bend, I think he can do a run.
Cracking run then from Tornaroy Title, holding off Mustang Hero in a time of 28.62. So to the final heat, and another chance for Ballybrazil Hero to shine. He was expected to do the business in Heat 6, but he did have pace inside and out to contend with.
And we're away for the last heat of the Birmingham Cup, and quite a level start here. Pennyworth just down in front there, heaping up in behind, and Ballybrazil Hero didn't get a clear run, nor did Brenda's Breeze. It's Pennyworth out in front then from Farlow Exit in second. After these we've got 5, Belle Devotion, Dukery's Joker. Here comes Ballybrazil Hero again, looking for room at the third bend, not getting it. So come around the second last bend, it's Pennyworth, leads the way round ahead of Farlow Exit. Farlow Exit very wide off the final bend, so it's Pennyworth sauntering up the home straight, wins easily from Farlow Exit, and Dukery's Joker in 3rd.
He did run well, the dog, yeah. He had a bit of injury back end, and he ran him in the Irish Derby in the first round, a bit unlucky, but he's had 4 or 5 races back now, and he's just starting to come away a bit better and do it a bit better.
A runaway win then for Pennyworth as he leads home Farlow Exit in a time of 28.61. So to Thursday's semi-finals with impressive first round score of BURNPARK Honcho catching the eye here. Don't rule out strong running Mustang Hero. The second semi-final perfectly illustrates a railer heavy competition with middle seed BARR Mole automatically allotted trap 6. While in the third semi-final Coolagorna Figo is the shortest priced of the 6, but Westview Lad did nothing wrong in winning his heat. But the first round over with, just who impressed the watching racing office staff?
I thought BURNPARK Honcho ran very well, never had a trial, first time round the track. 28.60, going's about 30 slow. 28.30 is a good run, first time round. I think it will improve.
And what about dogs that maybe didn't win tonight but looked unlucky in running?
The one that was Elderberry Vernon, really. He's not a bad dog, but he seemed to check off at the first bend. Got into quite a bit of trouble, and he did well to run on to get second.
But for quiz buffs, what happened next? This is Heat 3. Watch for the plastic bag and the unfortunate Trap 6 runner, Rhine Mary.
Well, unbelievable, you know. You do 36 years in greyhound racing, you think you've seen it all. But I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, we obviously delayed given the result and looked at it, and we decided that it hadn't affected the result in any way, shape or form, so we let the race stand. But I mean, you know, the chances of it happening, you couldn't put them on paper, could you really?
Don't forget to catch the open race action on Channel 425 on Thursday when the Birmingham Cup semi-finals take centre stage. The final, live on Sky Sports, is next Tuesday.
As well as the Birmingham Cup on Thursday, there's plenty of opens at Bellevue, Hove, Milton Keynes, Reading and Walthamstow. Highlight on Friday is the semi-finals of the Tony Williams Coronation Cup at Romford, over 575 metres, whilst Coventry and Henlow also have opens. The only place to be on Saturday, if you're a follower of the open race scene, is at Henlow, and Sunday sees opens at Coventry and Rye House. Visit www.thedogs.co.uk for all the latest greyhound information. Next week, live action comes from Perry Barr Stadium in Birmingham, which features the Tony Campbell Birmingham Cup. That's live on Sky Sports next Tuesday.
The Dogs, in association with the British Greyhound Racing Board.